What's going on? Welcome back to Financial Journey. So today I want to talk to you on Rivian. I want to go over some of the current data points, talk on what's suppressing Rivian and what is coming next. Before I get into any of that, make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and subscribe. Always greatly appreciate that. And with that said, let's get right to it. So currently it is down 3.69%. Market's been open about 40 minutes. 7.43 million shares have been traded. 37.75 is the average. So today is going to be a very heavy volume day. These are some of the transactions that did occur on the secondary market over $100,000. So there was one first thing for about 2.62 million. Aside from that, after hours yesterday was very popular. So 10.2 million, 4.93 million. So a lot of big money is kind of looking at Rivian, especially considering time and time again over the last several earnings, they have been saying that they have massive demand, which even Gary Black, who is a huge Tesla bull, is kind of pointing out the fact that Rivian is getting more and more interest and potentially, he doesn't state it, but potentially even competing with the Cybertruck, which I think a lot of Rivian investors know that is what is coming next. As of late, there has been no SEC filings, no press releases, nothing like that. So Rivian is just piggybacking off of the broader market, and the market right now is reacting to good old CPI. So CPI did come in, the year over year was in line with the forecast, so 3.1 versus now 3.1, so that's kind of good. Looking at the month over month, the forecast was 0, so set to be flat, but the actual was a little bit higher, so at 0.1%. So that's not necessarily the best, but as I've indicated in the past, it's one thing just looking at this information, it's another to look at the true data. So this is the actual breakdown of the month over month. So the latest one was November 2023. And one thing that I immediately always look at is energy. So energy, the whole basket items did go down 2.3%. So the fact that it did go up collectively 0.1%, that does mean that the other basket items did in fact go up quite significantly. So this data is not good, and this is why the market is reacting in a very negative way. And that's one negative about the CPI, why the Feds like to look at PCE rather than CPI, because the energy component kind of skews the numbers quite significantly, because energy is very volatile. You can kind of see some months is negative 3.6, some is 5.6 plus. It's all over the place, and that does skew the numbers quite significantly. So once again, make sure you guys always do your own due diligence as well. I am not a financial advisor, so this is what is causing a lot of disruption in the broader market, and in my opinion, kind of rightfully so. As of late, there has been no recent analyst ratings. Last was done about 6 days ago. There was 2, Barclays and 𝗖𝗎𝗡𝗘𝗧. So once again, fairly good stuff. Like I've signaled in the past, analysts absolutely love Rivian, and so far Rivian is just following the technical. So I'm going to go over some of the data points, starting off with shorts. So I'll give you a breakdown of that, and just wanted to point out the market cap is currently 18.2 billion, which is number 476 within the US. So kind of an interesting point. Maybe I'll start bringing that up in future videos. But currently, right now, shorts are returning 270.6 thousand shares, 15.65% of the free floats being shorted, 105 million shares overall are being shorted. Cost to borrow average is 0.36%. So clearly Rivian is not a squeeze play by any means. But again, I'm just bringing this up as a benchmark. Through the interactive broker, short availability does indicate that there is more than 10 million shares available to be shorted. So even though Rivian is selling off, the fact that shorts are closing out some of the positions, they feel that it's not really justified. So maybe in Rivian's case, it's a little bit more of an overreaction, potentially. I'm not really sure. You guys let me know about that. When it comes down to options though, currently $2.05 million in calls being purchased versus 961,000 in puts. So based on this, people are anticipating for Rivian to continue to trend up. And looking at some of the call options that is being purchased today, this shows all the strike prices, all the expiry dates. Based on this, it is anticipated for it to be above around 1950 by the end of the week. And looking at puts, it's anticipated to be sub 1750. So people are anticipating the sell-off to continue, and if not, as well magnify. And right now Rivian is on, I guess, staring off a virtual cliff. if you want to call it that way. So when it comes down to Rivian and its technicals, with it at $18.21, it is right now between this P and this R1. So like I said, it's kind of starting off of a virtual cliff, because this 1828, which I wouldn't really consider it broken support, but technically it did, it's lower than it right now, but 1828 is a very strong support. And if it does close below that today, then it is going to trade between this P and this R1. So 1688 would be the next strong support. So that's a little bit more of a sell-off that people don't really want. And then vice versa, $19.14 is going to be that next strong resistance. But once again, it's kind of flirting with this R1 right now, so we'll see exactly where this does close. Looking at the momentum, it shows number of retail investors have been getting in ever since December the 5th. And then looking at stochastic, you do see a deviation starting to form as of today. So red line above the black showing a little bit more of a bearish sentiment. And with it at 84, it is also considered very overbought. So I feel like Rivian does need to pull back down. And so that's probably why they're using that CPI data as an excuse as well to pull down Rivian and its technicals. So let me know your thoughts on Rivian in the comments below, but it does look like it's recovering quite well. So between this R1 and this R2, so this 1828 might actually be holding. So we'll kind of just have to wait and see. Let me know your thoughts on Rivian. Give yourself a shout out. Have you been buying? Have you been selling? What have you been doing with Rivian? Don't forget to hit that thumbs up and subscribe. I always greatly appreciate that. And one final thing I just wanted to share with you, take advantage of this promo with Moomoo. Sign up for an account with Moomoo, throw $100 at it, and you get 5 free stocks. Each stock is valued up to $2,000. So take advantage of this. Link in the description below and also comments. With all that said, I appreciate all of you watching.